Hi, Peter here from Genuine University, talking to you today about something that's very dear to me, which is genuine marketing. When your marketing reflects the essence of the value that you are offering the world, and the marketing itself offers value, and it's aligned with who you are, then you've reached a level of mastery. What so many people do instead is they say, I'm going to fake it till I make it. And they keep faking it and faking it. And then when they make it, what they make is they make themselves fake. And they end up suffering from imposter syndrome. And I've got a few examples of dealing with people who had imposter syndrome. And it's kind of like they've gone backwards, and you've got to bring them back to who they are before we can actually get anywhere in a genuine way. If you're actually stepping forward, offering your value, and you're nervous about it, and you're not too sure about whether you can do it or not, that's not being fake. That's just being a little bit nervous about bringing your courage together and taking your steps forward so that you can actually see your value come out into the world. So just a bit of a distinction there. I wouldn't call that faking it. I'd call that being courageous. So marketing from your core and bringing the value that you really have into the world, that is a lot harder than this fake it till you make it type marketing or this manipulative type marketing. But it yields so much more. You become so much more fulfilled. You can often make more money, and it is more sustainable over time because you don't have to continually stress yourself out and force yourself to do things which are unnatural for you. I remember years ago I worked with a guy who was making enormous amounts of money, close to $1 million a year, but he was very close to being suicidal. And the reason was because he was suffering from imposter syndrome. There was a desire to get rid of the imposter. And so he just had to separate the imposter from who he really was. And he's very, very keen for me to share his story in this kind of fashion, but I can't name who it is, right? He's very pleased now. He's living a very fulfilling life. He's very happy now, and he's actually making less money than before, which is not that difficult given how much he was making. But the amount of fulfillment that he's got is precious. It's priceless for him. Imagine if you could get paid to do what you love, right? I want to take it out of the realm of just theory now and really consider that this could really happen in your life. I know when I started getting paid for my writing in the Murder Mystery Party games, like it was just, I can't describe the feeling. It's like there's this kind of channel. I say I can't describe the feeling, then I immediately start describing it. I've never been able to describe the feeling until this moment. So I'm going to go with this, whatever this is. It's like, for me, it's like this channel, this kind of broad channel that's coming through the top of my head, down through the center of my body. And it feels like a certainty and also a flexibility. And it's the most amazing feeling. And I've gotten to the limit of being able to describe it now. So I'm going to leave that there. So imagine if you could do that, if you could really make money doing what you love by giving something of yourself out into the world, and people value it because your marketing is good and you've been humble enough to communicate that with them in a way that makes sense to them. There's other clients that, somebody that I worked with who loved the feeling of having her artwork prized by people who really valued it. For her, the feeling of being paid for her artwork was once again indescribable. And then there's somebody else that I worked with who found a tax loophole or a tax break which enabled people who were childless, who needed IVF in order to have children. This tax break enabled them to get the money for IVF, and she loved doing that. It was an amazing thing. I've had more than one client who's actually done that, and the feeling, like, I'm getting a bit caught up in the emotion of it, but the feeling of her talking about people having kids because she showed them a technical thing which would enable them to do that. Like, that was the most rewarding thing in the world for her. And then I remember, just the feeling of being able to change the lives of long-term unemployed people so that they could go and do either, humble things or incredible things or things that are well beyond what they would have deemed possible previously. It's so rewarding. And then to get paid for that, to go, you've done a fantastic job and here is resources for you to have a better life. It's the best feeling. Yeah, it's hard to describe it. So if you imagine being able to do that and imagine whatever feelings are coming into your body just as you start to imagine that possibility within your life. And I would love to hear from you if you have something that you want to do, even if it's wild and crazy or you don't think it's possible. Have the audacity or the boldness to write it down or maybe email me, maybe reply to these videos and just share that with me. I would love to hear those things. This is what I live for, this stuff, right? This is what I love doing. All the other stuff that I've done in my life has been to help me come to this point of being able to do this. So I would love you to do that, to send those things to me. So you don't have to sell yourself out in order to market yourself. This is what I'm getting at. If you are genuine and you remember this thing, things can be so much more easy for you. So I just want to tell you this. When you market your genuine value and the world values what you are marketing because it's genuine, you make the world a better place. This is what it's about, right? You market from the genuine core of who you are, having done the hard work to connect to that. Your marketing is in line with that. And even just doing the marketing makes the world a better place. Yeah, it's fantastic. So if you've got something you want to share with me, please send it to me. Tell me what you want to do.